In the last lesson, we went through a very important topic, adjustment of adjectives to the gender of the noun. It's very important, it's a crucial topic for Russian language, and it wasn't very difficult. And I want to make a small summary for you. Small summary and additional endings. I'm sorry for additional endings, but I forgot in the last lesson. Those endings will represent just a fraction of all adjectives, and you will see those are not difficult endings. Well, let's repeat. First, we got only 3 possible endings for adjectives. Those were ый, ой, and I. 3 endings, ый, ой, and I. Well, in Russian language, if you read a word from the dictionary, adjective from the dictionary, this is adjective, the description word for male noun. So the form you read is proper to describe male noun. For example, дорогой друг. Дорогой друг. Друг. We learned how to recognize the gender of word ending in g. Drug is friend, ends in g, it's consonant, it's masculine. If we got masculine noun, we can use adjective in the form we learn from the dictionary. Actually, the form we in general would learn. Дорогой друг, dear friend. Also might be expensive friend, but probably not. Дорогой friend, dear friend. Well, and the possible endings, if we will adjust our adjective to feminine or neutral case, would be aya. So technically, if we would have a feminine noun, we would replace last 2 letters with aya. And oye for neutral. Oye. Well, the examples would be дорогая подруга, dear female friend. Дорогая подруга, dear girlfriend. So for feminine, we would keep дорог and replace ой with ая. And подруга. Подруга is female friend. Подруга. Подруга ends in a. We would guess it's neutral, it's feminine. However, подруга can only be female because per definition it's female friend. And for neutral, let's take expensive window. I cannot come up with any more sophisticated words now. Окно. Окно was window. No. Ends in o, it's neutral. We will keep дорог, дорог. So we removed ой and replace it with ое. Дорогое. Дорогое окно. So we got expensive window. Then additional rule was words, adjectives ending in ni. Ni. Ni, actually we got ending I as the general ending, however we got indicator letter N. And in these cases, the feminine and the neutral adjustment would change. Feminine would change to yaya, and the neutral would change to yeya. And the example would be поздний поезд. Late train. Поздний поезд. Поезд. Поезд is train. Поздний late. D in поезд indicates it's masculine word. It's masculine noun. So we can use поздний in the form dictionary delivers it to us. Поздний. Late train. And we want to adjust adjective for feminine and for neutral. Even though we don't know right now which noun I will use, we can still produce adjective for this noun. For female, we would replace e, and for neutral, we would replace e and place instead of them яя or ея. So, поздно, we are leaving the last two letters empty, and here again, поздно, last two letters empty. And for female, it would become яя, поздняя, or позднее. We replace for neutral with two ye. And let's say поздняя осень. Осень. Осень is ending in soft sign. Осень is autumn. Ends in soft sign, but we cannot tell what gender осень got. So you have to learn it. You have to know it. Осень is autumn. It's feminine. Feminine, and for feminine, поздняя осень, late autumn. And позднее, let's take письмо, letter. Письмо. Позднее письмо. Ends in O, it's easy to recognize, it's neutral. Позднее письмо, late letter. Now I told you I forgot to mention some endings. Well, what kind of endings would it be? First, I want to tell you this rule, the upper rule, it covers the 95% of all adjectives. I'm just giving you a random number, but it covers the most of the adjectives. And this is a fraction of adjectives. So just few adjectives will end in ni. But we also got other indicating letters, like n in this case. Namely, жи, she. This is sh, i, she, chi, che, i, chi, and she. Sha, i, she. What happens with these endings? Well, for feminine, they would keep the general replacement aya for the last two letters. Aya. And for neutral, they would follow this scheme. Ye. I'm really sorry for this. There is another exception. Even though it's for the fraction of words, I need to mention it to you. As Russian teacher, you need to know it from me. For you to be easier on yourself about speaking and about preparing yourself, about memorizing certain things. Let's assume you will just remember this rule, or by accident you will use this rule for a word which needs to be which needs to follow this scheme. Russians will understand you. So I will just give you a few examples. For Russian teachers, it would be probably a sacrilege. They would insist on you learning this way. In my case, I would like you to start speaking, because speaking brings you closer to the aim of being able to speak Russian. So you want to communicate with Russians, and for this you have to speak. You don't have to speak correct, you just have to speak. You have to collect the experience of speaking and listening to Russian. So, let's assume you will, instead of дорогая подруга, here you would make a mistake and you would replace the last two letters with яя. Then you would have дорогая подруга. It's even so difficult to pronounce. I cannot pronounce it. And it sounds very even, like it sounds so similar that дорогая подруга would be fine. Instead of дорогое окно, we would replace last two letters with ея. Дорогое окно. Russians will perfectly understand you. And it just doesn't sound well, it just doesn't sound intuitively to use those endings. And try it for yourself. Try to place wrong endings on adjectives. You will recognize that the sound is so similar. And for English speakers, probably it will be even much more difficult to recognize than for me, for Russian. And believe me, you will have so much more other difficulties, for example, as to putting emphasis in words or in sentences, than to keep attention on all of the small nuances. So try to get used to this. Try to get used to adjust adjectives to the gender of a noun. Try to get used to recognize the gender of the noun. And don't make you crazy about making everything perfect and everything sounding well. However, it is, as I told you, a crucial topic. You need to understand that we need to adjust adjective to the gender of a noun. And for this, we also will create for you learning sessions on the website of Russian Online University. Just go there and go through all of the exercises. And I would also suggest you to go through the lessons over again. As soon as you will more or less recognize where to put what, you can continue in getting used to this. You just need to start using Russian language. Start using it and the rest will come. So let's do some more examples. Bad friend, плохой друг. Плохой друг. Плохой друг, bad friend. Друг ends in g. It is masculine. Плохой, we take the version from the dictionary. Now we want to say bad female friend or something for neutral and for female. So, плохой друг, плохая подруга. We take плох and replace it with ая. First, let's recognize the gender of подруга. We already did this, but still. Подруга ends in a, it's feminine. However, подруга, if you know the meaning, подруга, it's female friend. It can only be female. So, we place плох, плох, and replace ой with ая, плохая. Плохая подруга, bad friend. We adjusted adjective to the female gender of noun. Now let's milk, молоко. Молоко. Молоко ends in o, it's neutral. Плохое. We take плох again. Плох. And replace two letters with ое, плохое. Плохое молоко, bad milk. Now, small person, маленький человек. Маленький человек. Человек. Человек is human, a person. Человек. Ends in K, it's consonant, it's masculine. And we can use маленький, the general dictionary form. Small, маленький. The ending E. K does not represent any of the indicator letters, so we just take E. Маленький человек. And let's take small school, школа. Школа. How would we adjust the adjective small to our школа? Школа ends in a. So it's feminine. In most of the cases it would be feminine, and школа is feminine, I'm telling it to you. Маленький would be the word without the endings, the small without two last letters. So we need to put female ending, маленькая. Маленькая школа, small school. And now let's take word, слово. Слово, it ends in o, it's neutral. Слово is word. Let's take маленьк. Маленьк. What would be the ending? For neutral it would be ое. Маленькое. Маленькое слово. Small word. It's kind of nonsensical for Russians because word would be short in Russian, well, also in English, short word. However, we just took it, маленькое слово. We can also use this example for русский, Russian. Русский. Русский человек, Russian man, Russian person. Ends in E. Again, ki, ka does not indicate any of these endings. Русский человек. And we can also say Russian school. How would we do this? We'll take руск, к, and replace the last E with aya, русская школа. Русская школа, Russian school. And Russian word would be к, and we will replace last two letters with neutral ending oye. Русское слово. Русское слово, Russian word. Again, let's learn this. Let's repeat these words and this vocabulary again, because all of these words are coming from frequency lists of Russian language. All of these words are most used words of Russian language. Bad friend. Try to read it. Плохой друг. Друг is masculine, плохой is adjective, connected with a masculine noun, the adjective from the dictionary, плохой друг. For female, we would have плохая подруга, ending ая. And плохое молоко, bad milk. Small person, маленький человек. Человек is masculine, we can use the dictionary form маленький. But for small school, we got школа. Школа is feminine. We need to adjust adjective. Маленькая школа. We take ending ая. Russian school would be русская школа. Can you hear how I pronounce русская? I eat one S. Русская. You write it with double S, but pronounce it with one S. Русская школа. Маленькое слово. Small word. Маленькое слово. And русское слово. Russian word. Ending oe, because слово is neutral. It ends in o. Слово. Маленькое слово. Русское слово. Now I would like to exercise with you these endings. Жи, she, chi, and she. And let's take a few words. Свежий is frisch. Свежий. Ending e. However, we got indicator letter ж. Свежий. Хороший is good. Хороший. Хороший, indicator letter sh, ending e. And горячий, hot. Горячий. Again, indicator letter ch, and ending e. Жи, ши, чи. And let's take the word bread, because we can say fresh bread, good bread, and hot bread. Хлеб. Хлеб. And хлеб ends in b. It's clearly masculine because ends in consonant. And now let's work on our endings. Female and neutral endings. How would we adjust our adjectives? Well, we will just need to cut off last two letters. And we would get свеж, свеж, хорош, without last two letters, хорош, and горяч, горяч. So now we need to find our last two letters. Which ones would we take? Actually, ая. This is the last rule, ая. So we would have свежая, хорошая, and горячая. And for neutral, we would make basically the same. However, the possibility for the mistake in neutral, at least for the writings, it's much higher because свежее, хорошее, горячее, we follow the general rule. We recognize the last two letters, and with the general rule, we would have ая. However, for neutral, the ending would become ее. So, we would have свежее, свежее, ending ее, хорошее, 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 and горячее, горячее. Well, and свежее, хорошее, горячее, we could use молоко. Молоко is milk, ending in o, it's neutral. Свежее молоко, fresh milk. Хорошее молоко, good milk. Горячее молоко, hot milk. For свежее, хорошее, горячее, I cannot find any universal word. So, свежее, let's use газета. Свежая газета, newspaper. Газета. Fresh newspaper. Свежая газета ends in a, it's feminine. Хорошая подруга, we already got this. Подруга, female friend. Хорошая подруга. And горячая. Чашка. Чашка. Чашка is cup. Hot cup. And горячая is connected. All of them are endings of the words. Свежая газета. Fresh newspaper. Хорошая подруга. Good female friend. Горячая чашка. Hot cup. And you see, all of the female words are ending in a. So there is a good approximation that if you got noun, it ends in a, and you want to guess the gender, I would guess for female. And свежее молоко. Молоко is neutral, свежее is fresh milk. Хорошее молоко, good milk. Горячее молоко, hot milk. And for male, for masculine, хлеб, we take the form from the dictionary. Свежий хлеб, хороший хлеб, горячий хлеб. And I already told you about this rule, which you can just approximate the ending. You don't need to really be fluent in recognizing the word, the ending, and replacing endings with the correct endings. Namely, if you generally understand the principle and you can guess that you got the female word and you just got ending e, so aya. Let's see how would our sentence look like. So, свежая газета, хорошая подруга, and горячая чашка would follow the rule. What kind of mistake could we do here? We could replace aya with яя. Свежая, хорошая, горячая sounds pretty well for Russians. They will understand you. The mistake could be here in свежее. Ея, we could take the general ending ое for neutral. Свежее молоко, хорошее молоко, горячее молоко. Listen to the difference. Свежее, свежее. Хорошее, хорошее. Горячее, горячее. Even it sounds like peasant Russian. So don't worry, you will be understood. Start speaking, and as soon as you will start speaking, you will get the real way of pronunciations. Either the Russians will correct you, or you will create the feeling of correct endings.